I think people don't totally understand what I do with my time. They think I'm a business guy or something like that. I'm an alien. Alien. I'm an alien. Alien. I don't think you'd necessarily want to be me. I don't think people would like it that much. It's very hard to turn it off. It might sound great turned on, but what if it doesn't turn off? All the time. Doesn't stop. All the time. Doesn't stop. All the time. Doesn't stop. It's like a never-ending explosion. Yeah. I'm an alien. Alien. I'm an alien. Alien. I'm an alien. When I was, 5 or 6 or something, I thought I was insane. Because it was clear that other people did not. Their mind wasn't exploding with ideas. All the time. No. It was just strange. It was like, I'm strange. I'm an alien. I hope they wouldn't find out. Alien. Because they might put me away or something. I'm an alien. I hope they wouldn't find out. Alien. Because they might put me away or something. I like to get things done. I like to be useful. That is one of the hardest things to do. To be useful. Doing something useful for other people. That I like doing. Yes. Not bad for a human. But I think we'll not be able to hold a candle to AI. It's less of a worry than it used to be, mostly due to taking more of a fatalistic attitude. It's not necessarily bad. It's definitely going to be outside of human control. Yeah, it's not necessarily bad. It's just outside of human control. I try to convince people to slow down AI, to regulate AI. This was futile. I tried for years. Nobody listened. I tried to convince people to slow down AI, to regulate AI. This was futile. I tried for years. Nobody listened. A company is essentially a cybernetic collective of people and machines. That's what a company is. And then there's different levels of complexity in the way these companies are formed. Is there sort of like a collective AI in the Google search, where we're all sort of plugged in as like nodes on the network, like leaves on a big tree. We're all feeding this network without questions and answers. We're all collectively programming the AI. And Google, plus all the humans that connect to it, are one giant cybernetic collective. This is also true of Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and all these social networks. They're giant cybernetic collectives. They try to convince people to slow down AI, to regulate AI. This was futile. I tried for years. Nobody listened. I tried to convince people to slow down AI, to regulate AI. This was futile. I tried for years. Nobody listened. It feels like we are the biological bootloader for AI. Effectively, we are building it. And then we're building progressively greater intelligence. The percentage of intelligence that is not human is increasing. And eventually, we will represent a very small percentage of intelligence. The AI is informed, strangely, by the human limbic system. It is our id writ large. All those things, the sort of primal drives, all the things that we like and hate and fear, they're all there on the internet. They're a projection of our limbic system. I try to convince people to slow down AI, to regulate AI. This was futile. I tried for years. Nobody listened. I tried to convince people to slow down AI, to regulate AI. This was futile. I tried for years. Nobody listened. Like normally the way that regulations work, it's very slow. Very slow indeed. If you look at, say, automotive regulations, how long did it take for seatbelts to be required? You know, the auto industry fought seatbelts, I think, for more than a decade. The numbers were extremely obvious. If you had a seatbelt on, you would be far less likely to die or be seriously injured. It's unequivocal. Eventually, after many people died, regulators insisted on seatbelts. This time frame is not relevant to AI. It can't take 10 years from the point at which it's dangerous. It's too late. It's too late. It's not necessarily a doomsday countdown. People call it the singularity. And that's probably a good way to think about it. It's a singularity. It's hard to predict. Like a black hole. What happens past the event horizon? It could be terrible, and it could be great. It's not clear. One thing is for sure, we will not control it. The merge scenario with AI is the one that seems like probably the best. If you can't feed it, join it. I think best case scenario, we effectively merge with AI, where AI serves as a tertiary cognition layer, where we've got the limbic system, primitive brain essentially, we've got the cortex. So you're currently, your cortex and limbic system are in a symbiotic relationship. And generally people like their cortex and they like their limbic system. I haven't met anyone who wants to delete their limbic system or delete their cortex. Everybody seems to like both. And the cortex is mostly in service to the limbic system. People may think that the thinking part of themselves is in charge, but it's mostly their limbic system that's in charge. And the cortex is trying to make the limbic system happy. That's what most of that computing power is oriented towards. How can I make the limbic system happy? That's what it's trying to do. Now, if we do have a third layer, which is the AI extension of yourself, that is also symbiotic. And there's enough bandwidth between the cortex and the AI extension of yourself such that the AI doesn't de facto separate. Then that could be a good outcome. That could be quite a positive outcome for the future. To really appreciate the difference. You know, it's kind of like, how much smarter are you with a phone, computer, than without? You're vastly smarter, actually. You can answer any question pretty much instantly. Any calculation. Your phone's memory is essentially perfect. You can remember flawlessly videos, pictures, everything perfectly. Your phone is already an extension of you. You're already a cyborg. Most people don't realize they are already a cyborg. That phone is an extension of yourself. It's just that the data rate, the communication rate between you and the cybernetic extension of yourself, that is your phone and computer, is slow. It's very slow. And that, it's like a tiny straw of information flow between your biological self and your digital self. And we need to make that tiny straw like a giant river. Huge, high bandwidth interface. It's an interface problem. Data rate problem. Solve the data rate problem, then I think we can hang on to human-machine symbiosis through the long term. And then people may decide that they want to retain their biological self or not. I think they'll probably choose to retain their biological self. You will be essentially snapshotted into the computer at any time. If your biological self dies, you just probably just upload into a new unit. Literally. Well, the argument for the simulation, I think, is quite strong. Because if you assume any improvements at all over time, any improvement, 1%, 0.1%, just extend the time frame, make it 1,000 years, 1,000,000 years. The universe is 13.8 billion years old. Civilization, if you're very generous, civilization is maybe 7 or 8,000 years old. If you count it from the first writing. There's nothing. There's nothing. If you assume any rate of improvement at all, then games will be indistinguishable from reality. Or civilization will end. One of those two things will occur. Anyway, I don't want to sound like things are too dark, because I think you kind of have to be optimistic about the future. There's no point in being pessimistic. It's just too negative. It doesn't help. You know, I think you want to be... my theory is you'd rather be optimistic. I'd rather be optimistic and wrong than pessimistic and right. Than pessimistic and right. Than pessimistic and right. But I'd rather be optimistic and wrong than pessimistic and right. Than pessimistic and right. Than pessimistic and right. At least we're on that side. Because if you're pessimistic, you're just going to be miserable. Enjoy the journey. Enjoy the journey. Ultimately, even if we just sort of existed as humans forever, eventually that'd be like the heat depth of the universe. A zillion years from now. Eventually it's going to end. It's just a question of when. So it really is all about the journey. The universe as we know it will dissipate into a fine mist of cold nothingness eventually. So I think it's really just about how can we make it last longer. I'd rather be optimistic and wrong than pessimistic and right. Than pessimistic and right. Than pessimistic and right. But I'd rather be optimistic and wrong than pessimistic and right. Than pessimistic and right. Than pessimistic and right. But I'd rather be optimistic and wrong than pessimistic and right. Than pessimistic and right. Than pessimistic and right. But I'd rather be optimistic and wrong than pessimistic and right. Than pessimistic and right. Than pessimistic and right. I think most likely, this is just about probability, there are many, many simulations. These simulations are, we might as well call them reality, or we could call them multiverse. And they're running on a substrate. That substrate is probably boring. When we create a simulation, like a game or a movie, it's a distillation of what's interesting about life. It takes a year to shoot an action movie. And then that's all distilled down into 2 or 3 hours. So let me tell you, if you've seen an action movie being filmed, it's boring. Super boring. It takes lots of takes. Everything's in a green screen. Looks pretty goofy. Doesn't look cool. But once you add the CGI and have great editing, it's amazing. So I think most likely, if we're a simulation, it's really boring outside the simulation. Because why would you make a simulation that's boring? It makes a simulation way more interesting than base reality. When you're in that virtual reality, which is only going to get better, where are you? Where are you really? You aren't anywhere. You're in the computer. Why do you think you're where you are right now? You might not be. Right now you think you're in a studio in LA.
Akira.
You might be in a computer. Yeah. I'd rather be optimistic and wrong than pessimistic and right. Than pessimistic and right. Than pessimistic and right. But I'd rather be optimistic and wrong than pessimistic and right. Than pessimistic and right. Than pessimistic and right. But I'd rather be optimistic and wrong than pessimistic. term. I really think, people should give other people the benefit of the doubt. And assume that they're good until proven otherwise. And I think, really, most people are actually pretty good people. Nobody's perfect.
Most people are good. Most people are good.
The vast majority.
Most people are good.
They have to be.
Most people are good.
The vast majority.
Most people are good. Most people are good.
The vast majority.
Most people are good.
They have to be.
Most people are good.
The vast majority.
I mean, strangely, I think a lot of people don't like humanity and see it as blight. But I do not. This may sound corny, but love is the answer. Love is the answer. Wouldn't hurt to have more love in the world. Most people are good. Most people are good.
The vast majority.
Most people are good.
They have to be.
Most people are good. Most people are good. Most people are good.
The vast majority.
Most people are good.
They have to be.
Most people are good. I think people should be nicer to each other and give more credit to others, and don't assume that they're mean until they're actually mean. It's easy to demonize people. You're usually wrong about it. People are nicer than you think. Most people are good. Most people are good.
The vast majority.
Most people are good.
They have to be.
Most people are good. Most people are good. Most people are good.
The vast majority.
Most people are good.
They have to be.
Most people are good. This may sound corny, but love is the answer. Love is the answer. Wouldn't hurt to have more love in the world.
This may sound corny, but love is the answer. Love is the answer. Wouldn't hurt to have more love in the world. Love is the answer. Love is the answer. Love is the answer. Wouldn't hurt to have more love in the world.
Yeah, but my goal is try to do useful things, try to maximize the probability the future is good, make the future exciting, something you look forward to. With Tesla, we're trying to make things that people love. How many things can you buy that you really love, that really give you joy? So rare, so rare. I wish there were more things. That's what we're trying to do. Just make things that somebody loves. What are the set of things that can be done to make the future better. You know, I think that a future where we are a spacefaring civilization out there among the stars, that's what we should strive for. Out there among the stars, this is very exciting. Out there among the stars, that's what we should strive for. This makes me look forward to the future. Makes me want that future. You know, there are things, there need to be things that make you look forward to waking up in the morning. You wake up in the morning, you look forward to the day, forward to the future. A future where we are a spacefaring civilization and out there among the stars, I think that's very exciting. That is a thing we want. Whereas if you knew we would not be a spacefaring civilization but forever confined to Earth, this would not be a good future. That would be very sad, I think. No, I just think like if there are two futures, and one future is we're out there among the stars and the things we read about and see in science fiction movies, the good ones, are true. We have these starships, and we're going to see what other planets are like, and we're a multi-planet species, and the scope and scale of consciousness is expanded across many civilizations and many planets and many star systems. This is a great future. This is a wonderful thing to me. And that's what we should strive for. Out there among the stars, that's what we should strive for. Out there among the stars, this is very exciting. Out there among the stars, that's what we should strive for. This makes me look forward to the future. Makes me want that future. Life has to be more than about solving problems. If all that life is about is solving problems, why bother getting up in the morning? There have to be things that make you proud to be a member of humanity. Only a handful of people went to the moon. And yet, we all went to the moon. We went with them vicariously. We shared in that adventure. I don't think anyone would say that that was a bad idea. That was great. We need more of those things. Out there among the stars, that's what we should strive for. Out there among the stars, this is very exciting. Out there among the stars, that's what we should strive for. This makes me look forward to the future.